In this video, we will complete Chapter 7, Section 1, Ministry questions. Question 30, we have B capital, B capital, B capital, P small. What is the relation between them? You should focus on what? The first one should be homozygous, because you know that B capital, it's pure, which means it's homozygous. And the second one, B capital, B small, it's hetero. Whenever you have capital and small letter together, so they are heterozygous. So which of the following it's homo then hetero? This one it's homo, so it's incorrect. This one it's hetero, so it's also incorrect. This one it's homo, so it's also incorrect. This one it's like that of the question. It's homo, then we have hetero. So the correct answer for this question will be D. Now, question 31. When Mendel wanted to cross a plant that was true breeding, which means pure, for the trait of yellow pod, it's G small, because you know it's recessive, with one that was true breeding for the traits of the green pod. Please pay attention to the 7 characters of Mendel, with each one with its contrasting trait. You should memorize them, and for the yellow pod, you should know for the pod color we have green and we have yellow. Which one is the dominant one? The green one. So the green one will be either G capital, or G capital, G small. Okay. G capital, G small. What about the yellow pod? It will be G small, G small. So when he crossed through true breeding for yellow pod with one that was true breeding for the other trait, which is the green pod, to prevent self-pollination, what he did, as we said before, he removed the anthers, which is the male part of which one. Is it for both plants or for one of the plants? He removed it for one of the plants, which is for the dominant one here, the green pod. So the correct answer will be C. Now in question 32, what we have, 32, we have tall stem pea plant and short stem pea plant. So tall stem, is it dominant or recessive? It's dominant. What about short stem? It's recessive. So you should focus on the answer that have dominant then recessive trait. Yellow pod, pea plant, and green pod. We said the green pod is the dominant while the yellow pod is recessive. So this is incorrect. This is first recessive and the second dominant, right? Which is the opposite of the first one. Now B, purple flower, pea plant, white flower. Yes, this is correct. This is dominant and this is recessive. Then you have constricted pod and inflated pod. This is recessive with dominant, so this is also incorrect. Green seed and yellow seed. Yellow seed is the dominant and green seed is the recessive, so this is also incorrect. The correct answer will be B. Now, the question 33, the law of independent assortment is observed only for genes. Is it for the genes that are on the same chromosome or on different chromosome? We mentioned that in the law of independent assortment, the genes should be on different chromosome, on separate chromosome. For example, when I talk about the flower color, we have, for example, P capital, P small, or P capital, P capital. They are on different chromosome, on separate chromosome, not on the same chromosome. And also here, for example, for the seed color, which is the yellow is dominant, Y capital, Y small. They are on separate chromosome. So should be located on separate chromosome, because if they are on the same chromosome at that time, we can't apply the law of independent assortment. It's for the genes that are located on separate chromosome. Okay. Now, a genotype that produces 50% of the gamete is A small, B small is, first of all, the genotype, you should you know that it's represented by letters, and because here we have 2 different letters, so this is for dihybrid cross, we have 2 characters, okay? And when we have 2 characters, for example, if we cross A small, B small, B small, if they are both of them homozygous, at that time 100% will be A small, B small. But the question asked about should be 50% A small, B small. So anytime you have this ratio, which is 50% of the gamete is A small, B small, it means we have one of the character it's homo and the other should be hetero. Why? We look at the answers here. Heterozygous for a character and recessive for the other. What we mean by that? Hetero for a character, we have A and B. Let's say we have, this is hetero for one character, A small, A capital, A small. And recessive for the other, it means B small, for example. Can they produce 50% A small, B small? Let's look to it. A capital, B small. This is the first gamete. A capital, B small again. So the same thing. I will not write it, or you can write it. A small, B small, and A small, B small. So yes, it's 50% A small, B small. So this will be the correct answer. But let's see the others also. We will solve the other choices for it. B said hetero for both character. What do you mean by hetero for both character? It means A capital A small, B capital B small. This is hetero for both character. So at that time, it will produce how many different type of gamete? It will produce A capital B capital, A capital B small, then A small B capital, and A small B small. So whenever you have hetero, it will produce a ratio of 25% for each gamete. Okay, we have 4 different type of gamete and each one is 25. So anytime the question asks about 50%, you never choose hetero or homo, because if it's hetero, it will produce 4 type of gamete, each one is 25%. You should choose one which is hetero, homo. Now let's see the other one. C, heterozygous for a character. Let's say hetero for A capital A small, and hetero for dominant for the other. Hetero for a character and dominant for the other. Not hetero, it's for dominant for the other. Dominant, it means instead of B small, we will put a B capital, B capital. So this one also produced 50%. But what are these gametes that are produced? A capital, B capital. We have A capital, B capital, and A small, B capital. So also produce 50%, but it's A small, B capital, not A small, B small. What about the last one, which is homozygous for both character? It means, for example, A small, B small, B small, or A capital, B capital, B capital. This is homo for both character. This one, it will only produce A small, B small, which is 100% A small, B small. And this one, all of the gamete will be A capital, B capital, 100%. So this is also incorrect, because all of the gametes will be A small, B small, not 50% of them. Now, question 35, Mendel obtained the second filial generation in his experiment by, we said that you can draw this pattern, that we have parent, that the parent get F1 from parent, and we get F2 from F1 generation. Here we have S, and C, self cross self. How we get F2? We get F2 from what? From F1 generation. By what? By self-pollination. So first of all, we will omit these two cross-pollination. We have self-pollination. Is it between two parents that have the same trait? Yes, the F1 are the parent for F2. And are they with the same trait? Yes, because they are all purple, for example, or all show the dominant trait here. So this one will be the correct answer. Is it between self-pollination between two parents that have two contrasting traits? No, actually these are contrasting traits, not F1. F1, all of them have the same trait. Okay, so we get F2 by self-pollination of parents that have same trait. We get F1 by parents that have contrasting trait. Okay, now which of the following, question 36, which of the following is correct about Mendel's experiment to obtain P generation, F1 generation, and F2 generation? First, all individuals of the P generation were homozygous. He said that all the individuals here of the P generation are homo. This is correct, because we know here the parents, we have purple homo with white homo. So all of them are homo. This is correct. All individuals of F2 generation were hetero. Actually, in F2, we have we have one of them is P capital, P capital. Two of them are P capital, P small, and one of them is P small, P small. So he said that all of them are hetero. This is incorrect. It's only 50%, 50% of them are hetero. Now, 25% from the individual of, this is the F2, 25% from individual of F2 were homozygous. Let's see. In F2, we said that we have one P capital, P capital. You can do the Punnett square to solve it also. Two of them P capital, P small, and one of them is P small, P small. So is it 25% homozygous? No, actually we have, this is homozygous and this is homozygous. So 2 to 2. It means 25 it means, sorry, 50% homozygous and 50% heterozygous. So this is also incorrect. Now, 25% of the individual of F1 were hetero. He said that in F1, 25% is hetero. This is also incorrect. Why? Because in F1, all the offsprings are hetero. We get 100% hetero and all of them are dominant. As you remember, in his experiment, all of them are purple and all of them are hetero. So this will be also incorrect, and the correct answer will be A. Now, if we go to the other question that we have, to 37, a genotype that produces 50% A capital B capital. We said if you have homo, it will produce a ratio of 100%. So if we have homo for both character, this is incorrect. If we have hetero for both character, also incorrect, because all the gametes will be 25%. For example, A capital A small, B capital B small produce 4 different gametes, and each one is in 25%. And for this one, homo, it means, for example, if you have this, so at that time 100% will be A capital B capital. So we need to have one of them hetero and one of them homo. But the homo, is it dominant or recessive according to that? It should be homo dominant. Hetero for a character, let's say A capital A small, and homo dominant for the other, which means B capital B capital. Let's see it. Is it 50% true? A capital B capital? We have A capital B capital. Then we have another A capital B capital. Then we have A small B capital and A small B capital. So at that time, yes, 50% it's A capital B capital. What about this one? Heterozygous for a character, it means hetero for one of them, like for example A capital A small, and recessive for the other, it means B small, B small. So this one will produce A capital B small, A capital B small, A small B small, A small B small. So 0% A capital B capital. We don't have A capital B capital here. The last question that we have, 2025, but it's for the elementary. We have the height of the plant. Is this a character or a trait? This is a character. Like we have tall. Tall, is it dominant or recessive? It's a trait and it's dominant. So we should focus on our answer to find a character with the dominant trait. Position of the flower along the stem, we have two types. We have axial and terminal. Terminal is the recessive one, so this is incorrect. Flower color, purple. Yes, this is correct because this is a character and this is a trait which is dominant. Pod shape, we have inflated and constricted. This is recessive, so it's incorrect. Seed texture, we have round and wrinkle. Round is dominant, wrinkle is recessive. So this is also incorrect because the question asked about only the dominant one. Okay, sorry, this is the last question. Mendel cross-pollinated pairs of plant that were, when he cross-pollinated pairs of plant that were what? For contrasting trait. That were true breeding for contrasting trait, because we mentioned it before. We said that we have two contrasting traits, true breeding for a single character, and he called the resulting generation the F1 generation. So we get F1 by cross-pollination, right? But cross-pollination of what? Of two contrasting traits. The parents were contrasting trait, but they are true breeding, right? Because we said that he did true breeding parent. This was the last question, and hope you get a benefit from it.